Hello and welcome back to Rat Race Escape. So today we thought we'd talk to you about what our goals are individually, really, in terms of what our financial goals would be. I think we mentioned in the first video that we're in a fairly similar situation in terms of what we owe mortgage wise. And today, we just wanted to sort of talk about where we want to be in a few years' time, and maybe how we go about getting there. Do you want to start off, Claire?
Okay, yeah. I mean, I haven't written very specific goals, and I think probably that would be the best thing to do because without a goal, you're just going to go adrift, aren't you?
Yeah.
So I need to really make mine more specific. But I'd like to have my mortgage paid off within 10 years, which I think is doable with some good with some overpayments and maybe some investments that I then take out and put on the mortgage. So mortgage paid off in 10 years. I'd like to be able to get enough passive income going that I could actually give up my day job. Because my job it's a great job, but it's shift work, it's 12-hour shifts, and it really does take its toll on me, night shifts, and it would be lovely to just not have to go by a boss or an employer to choose when you take your time off and things like that. So I would love to be able to do that. So passive income, I've said I would like to have a passive income of £2,000 a month by the time I give up my job. I probably want a bit more, but I could probably get by on that if the mortgage is really low at that point. I would love to move to a warm country with a pool and a hot tub. Would you?
Well, yeah, I would. It's 3 degrees outside. It was raining. I almost got hypothermia walking from my car to your house. Yeah, I'm still feeling chilly now. I personally find British winters a bit depressing. Really, the clocks change, and you've got sort of four or 5 months really of kind of dark evenings. Anyway, so
it's good because we need to make sure our goals that align. Otherwise, we're fucked, aren't we? Yeah, there's no point if you're like, no, I want to move to Iceland.
No.
Then it's not going to work. But yeah, so that would be I'd love to be able to do that before we're 60 or 70. I'd quite like to be able to do that earlier on in life, 50, 55, something like that. I'd love the freedom to work from anywhere, which again comes in line with the passive income. I'd like to be able to work from a computer or a laptop anywhere in the world, so we can do lots of travelling. I don't know if this is really a financial goal, but I would really love to be able to buy my dad and his girlfriend a cruise because they've both had ill health and haven't been able to go on a cruise. They've only been, I think, on 1 or 2. And they're not well off at all, and I would just love to be able to send them on a lovely cruise. It's just a little thing.
That's very nice.
I know. I'm just virtue signalling. I wouldn't really, no. And another goal I have is I would love to have a personal trainer, a chef, and a cleaner, but maybe a maid, because a maid would do like cooking and cleaning.
Okay.
I know that's quite bougie and pricey, but I would love to have that, even if it was not like every day, but imagine like 4 days.
Wednesdays.
4 days a week, someone comes in and they tidy up, and then they cook you. You cook your dinner in the evening. That would just be amazing.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's my goals.
So my goals. So one of the things I think, which is quite important to discuss is I make overpayments on my mortgage at the moment, so I'm quite I try and live to a budget, and I'm on track to pay my mortgage off in about 13 years, which is good. But there's this balance that I think you need to achieve in life, isn't there, between living for the day, and enjoying your life, whilst you're in good health and stuff like that. And also, looking ahead, and making sure that you've got provision for when you're a bit older, and getting rid of that mortgage. But getting rid of that mortgage very, very quickly and putting yourself under a lot of strain also isn't, it's not healthy. And I think it's really important to get that sort of seesaw right, in terms of enjoying your life whilst you're reasonably young and healthy, as opposed to sort of kind of just putting everything, being miserable, and not really living your life for this sort of kind of goal of kind of having sort of a wonderful financial situation when you're a bit older. So I think a balance also ultimately needs to be achieved.
I think that I was too much on one side of that spectrum, and you've probably been too much on the other side of that spectrum. Would you agree?
Yeah.
In terms of how we've lived our lives up until now, because I've spent a lot of money unnecessarily. All my wages would go out in buying things online, meals out, just living life, not overpaying my mortgage, not investing, just enjoying my money, living for now. And it's only been the last couple of years I've started to think about the future and investments and stuff. But I would say that you were quite the opposite, in terms of you leave yourself very little margin in your budget for fun stuff.
Yeah. And I'm conscious that it is important to find that sweet spot, isn't it? And I felt maybe kind of I've been aiming to make sure that I'm going to be okay financially when I'm 60. I might not get to 60, but hopefully I will.
Well, I hope you do, darling.
But ultimately, there's there's a balance, isn't there? And you need to have holidays, and you need to sometimes almost have some retail therapy. Psychologically, it's good to go on holiday. It's good to sometimes buy new things.
Go out with your friends.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, because that's important. And you hear about people who maybe they kind of get their mortgage paid off very, very quickly, but they're also they're very miserable as well. And you get to sort of 55, you've got your mortgage paid off, or 50 or whatever, and then it's kind of like, almost because you've spent so much of your life just being frugal and doing nothing, that you've learned. You've lost that ability to sort of know how to live and actually have fun, because you've been so channeled on this, so focused on this one thing. So it's quite important to make sure you almost need to check in, I think, every so often, make sure you've got that balance right. So my objectives is to get that mortgage paid off, because also mortgages you have this thing around your neck. It puts pressure on you to sort of be this sort of almost corporate slave, to make sure that you are, you go to work every day. You are kind of it constrains you, doesn't it? Do you know what I mean? So having a mortgage paid off also does give you psychological freedom as well, doesn't it?
Well, it does give you real, actual freedom, because you could potentially quit the job. If you could start up a side, or a couple of side hustles, you could quit the job and take the risk, because you haven't got that big payment coming out every month.
Yeah, absolutely. And
that's where I think, in that argument of you should just invest rather than pay off the mortgage, I do think that there is a lot to be said for releasing yourself from that albatross, and then having the freedom, because potentially if you could give up your job and start on some other projects that you wouldn't have the guts to do if you had the mortgage payment to do, you could potentially then go leaps and bounds into making money in that alternative way. So there is that.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Have you got any more goals?
Yeah, I mean, I think I want to get rid of my mortgage as quick as I can, but I also want to see more of the world as well. Yeah, so for me, it's absolutely making sure I've got that balance. Another video we're going to do at some point is decisions that we've taken to sort of just live frugally, which I think is also quite important, because there's just having that ability to analyse what you spend money on and keeping track of it, and just having that awareness is quite key, because otherwise, if you can't sort of specify what you spend on groceries or what you spend on the various aspects of your life, then if you can't quantify it, then you can't sort of monitor it and measure it and do anything with it.
That's something I need to do, because I actually don't know how much I spend on groceries or anything. I know what my actual must-do outgoings are, but I don't know what I spend on groceries.
Yeah.
Do you?
I do roughly. Yeah, I think I probably spend about £200 a month on groceries. I don't know. In the broad scheme of things, I'm not sure if that's
that
a lot.
That includes alcohol, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. Yeah. But now I'm a teetotaler.
How many days has it been?
2 days.
I'm on day, about 11, I think. Having 30 days off the booze for financial and health reasons.
Which is very good. Well done.
High five. If you want to high five me, you can do that in the form of a like on the video, and a subscribe would be even better. Any more on the goal situation?
I don't think so, no. We'll wrap that up, I think, for today.
Yeah, so that's something else we can cover anyway. Budget, budgets and spending stuff. But yeah, so thank you so much for watching.
See you next time.
We will see you again. Bye.